Greetings, lovers.
Today we're talking about romance novels. We are drinking Marianne's Wild Abandon Tea.
Because you said, and I'm going to quote her on this, you have to come to romance fiction. I'm waiting. Wait. Okay, you got it. I tend to read historical romance. That's my jam.
Me too. Yeah, I guess I get a lot more of my roots in fanfic, you know, which I would consider kind of a subset.
I definitely got started reading romance, reading Jane Austen fan fiction online. I started discovering the more erotic varieties of that fan fiction about a year or two into reading them. And what's hilarious is that the listserv or the board in which I first became aware of erotic fiction, it was called Drool Fic.
Aww, that was like smut.
Yeah, it did have that element of here's the mainstream fiction, and then here's the back door to the racy stuff that we don't talk about. Yeah. On the message boards, occasionally someone would reference some other story. Like, it was really hush-hush.
Oh yeah, like in the frontier days of
and like occasionally they would be like, there are children around here, and I'd be like, I'm one of those, but I want to know what you're talking about.
That's what I love about fanfic is that it's such a spectrum. It could be anyone writing this. It could be a 12-year-old, and I was like 13 writing
13 and 15.
Yeah.
I think
when
I was
wrote
like
my first like Mary Sue insert Lord of the Rings fanfic.
I want to read that.
I think I just deleted it.
No! I'm outing my mom. Sorry, Mom. But my mom was the mom that like handed me like water for chocolate when I was like 11 or 12 and was like, here, read this thing. You will enjoy it. You're becoming a woman now. She also gave me some erotic poetry that was like, we don't have to talk about this, but I think it's okay. I would say that I had that, and I still had to, because of education and because we have this idea of serious books and literature versus commercial fiction, I probably didn't come back to romance novels until I was 24 or 25 again, like just to like revisit and find the world again, and it has changed so much in such a great way, because inevitably when you're talking about commercial romance, which is generally very heteronormative, you're talking about a female heroine and a male hero.
They have to have sex.
They have to have sex, so you're inevitably confronting gender norms.
Especially because it's in a dramatic piece, if that's the setup, male, female, and then the conclusion is they have to have sex, and there has to be an obstacle to that, particularly in historical fiction.
The obstacle is the patriarchy.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert!
So you get these erotic fiction that do deeply examine that and what it means to be a woman with sexual desire, that you can't express that, and how those heroines do express it.
In romance, the heroine is the hero of the story and drives the actual plot in a way that in most mainstream fiction, women don't get to drive the beginning, middle, and end of a plot.
Sarah McLean does an incredible job.
She does an incredible job. Courtney Milan does an incredible job. Tessa Dare does an incredible job of like, these women start the plot, make their own messes, drive it to the end.
But I think the fact that romance is in a place now where it is doing that kind of story so well is part of why we can come out of the shadows, out of the secret listservs, and talk about the fact that we read romance like open
and have things like Outlander produced.
Television, like not on pay-per-view. They're in media written for women. Romance takes center stage, or has historically taken center stage in a very particular way. In media that's generated for men, it's not that it's absent, but there's this way that female love interests are treated.
They're almost interchangeable.
Women don't want to be that love interest, and so when it's written for them, the woman gets to be a better character.
Gets to be a human character instead of a prize.
Right. That's also getting into female pleasure, because when the woman is an object obtained by the man, it is sexual conquest, it is not sexual experience.
In the pilot of Outlander, the second sex act that happens is a pretty wonderfully graphic episode of Cunnilingus.
The first one that's actually on camera. The first sex act is off camera.
Oh, right.
It's just oral. Sorry.
Oral.
That's true, it is an oral joke.
And the second one is oral. I had to land that for you.
It was the first time in a mainstream thing that I've
Seen that?
seen
No.
that. We're gonna do read, elect, and supply with an army,
Heroin.
and
Heroin.
then
Stick around, because this week we're doing a special episode of Fuck, Marry, Kill with heroes. I would supply Juliana
from Sarah
Fiore.
McLean.
Fiore from Sarah McLean's 11 Scandals to Start
to Win a Duke's
Heart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
She is a
She
force.
would lead quite the force.
On her charging horse.
Yes!
With a
Yeah,
sword,
like,
bareback.
Bareback with
she
a
does.
flame. I feel like she has a flaming sword in this
Yeah,
vision of
scenario.
in this
She's
scenario.
basically like a Valkyrie warrior. Read that book. We would
We
read
would read
Pippa.
Pippa.
And Pippa's book is called
Oh, one good Earl deserves a lover. Yes.
And Pippa is lovingly called a blue stocking, so we would definitely read her treaties. Yeah, she's great.
I would elect Isabel from
10 Ways to Be Adored when Landing a Lord.
Sarah McLean, we love your heroines.
We love them. Fuck, marry.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna fuck Jamie Fraser.
Yes.
Because
All over the Scottish Highlands.
And he wears a kilt, so it's easy.
I think we would all marry
We would
Nicholas
all
St.
marry
John.
Nicholas St. John.
That's-
That we agreed on that
So we'll
earlier. We're gonna
elect
fight over him,
Isabel.
maybe.
And
Yeah.
then take her man.
Fortunately, we can all agree that we would murder Christian Grey in
We
cold
would.
blood.
We would murder him. I sometimes want to murder Temple from
Oh yeah, that too.
No Good Duke Goes Unpunished. I would want to punish him. I
Not
have
even in a
issues.
sexy way either. Just
No.
like you make me really actually angry way.
I think because I'm just so on her side in that book.
Yeah.
I always
But
say
we-
the best scene in that book is when he's unconscious.
Cheers, ladies.
Cheers.